Okay, cool. Okay, we're gonna get started here. What I'm gonna do is, um, so your guys Don't talk right now when I'm talking. Thank you. Your guys' drawings are different than mine. The the approach is the same. Okay. So yesterday, what we did was we started on the left side, wherever that is for you, and we're tracing the outline of our subject matter. What we're doing is, and we are drawing lightly, write that down if you haven't yet. We are using light pressure. We are identifying shapes of value. And what are our values? They're dark, they're medium, they're light. And we are drawing big shapes, then we are drawing the medium shapes, then we're drawing small shapes. Now, you can, like I said before yesterday, switch between big, medium, small, and go back and forth. Okay? So what we're gonna do right now, and what I'm gonna show you is I'm gonna finish up the outline of my reference. And I folded this so I could get this closer to my my drawing. I got my pencil sharpener here. And you don't need a super sharp, your pencil super sharp. I like mine to have a little bit of bluntness, not having it super sharp. But what I want to do is I'm going to finish number one, the outline of the portrait. Okay. Number two, what's the next biggest shape that you guys can see if we're looking at our portrait? What's the next biggest shape you would guess it would be? Let's look up at mine. Look up. What's the next biggest shape? Because the first shape is from one shoulder, trace the entire figure, tracing the entire head, the hair, part of the face, the other shoulder. What would the next biggest shape be? Would you guess? Someone said the head. I would say yes, watch. So the head would be this, watch. Look up here. This is very important that you know the next thing, the next shape. The next shape would be starting at the brow here, coming down the cheekbone, coming down the face, to the chin, across the chin, the jaw, up the jaw to the other ear. So someone said the head, or the front of the face could be that, okay? What would be the next biggest shape you would guess? Hint, it's on top of the head. The hair. The hair is the third thing you're going to trace today. So the next biggest shape, and I've already done some of it here on the outside. So the third thing we're going to do is we're going to do the hair. So we've done the outside of the hair pretty much very carefully. So now we need to do the next biggest shape, which is the hair. Meaning, let's go this way, this way, this way, over here, over here, over here. And we're going to very carefully do the hair. Okay, so let's write that down. Get your ballpoint pen out. Okay. On your reference sheet, we're going to go 1. Transfer the silhouette. This is called a silhouette. Okay? Now, what I want to do now is I want to show you guys what a silhouette is, okay? Because you might not know. I'm going to type in silhouette portrait. Okay? Check it out. Look up at the screen. So I want to show you guys what a silhouette is. Look. A silhouette, a big shape, okay? So there we go. And let's try to find a silhouette front view, because these are all like, this is a silhouette too. But in our case, we're doing a portrait silhouette. Here we go. So let's zoom into this for a second here. And let's go down. So if we go left, across the shoulder, up the head, around the head, back down. So this is a silhouette. Okay, it's a big shape. Now, as I was there, I saw something really cool too. What we want to do is we want to, well, let's just stop there for a sec. Okay, so we're just gonna stop there. So that's our silhouette, right? So let's take a couple minutes. Oh, number 2, transfer the shape. Let's put shape and, okay, cool. I'm zoomed in. Shape of the face and jaw, okay? Pretty much. And then number 3, transfer, write this down. The shape of the hair. Okay, so we're going to work on those 3 big shapes today. Now, there's one more really big shape or edge. Okay, now all these shapes are edges. And there's one more big shape that might not be apparent, and it has to do with the light source. So if we look at my image here, we see that there's a light shining on this individual. Can you see a big shape that the light source creates on this portrait? Squint your eyes, look at this portrait, and tell me the big shape that I might be thinking about. Huh? The values, that's correct. So what values are we looking at? What values do we have? Light, medium, and dark, right? So light, look up at what I'm pointing at here. The light's pointing in this direction, right? It's going from right to left. And so what the light is doing, we have basically, if you squint at the picture and look at it, you'll see a light shape here, a light shape here, and this light shape kind of goes down the figure, okay? The portrait. I could take my finger and trace, and I can identify, you see this light shape? This is a light shape. So in order to have light, what must you have? Dark. Okay, light, dark. So we're going to identify the edge of any dark value. So where is the edge of the dark value in my portrait? Okay, and you're going to identify it in your own. Now watch this. If I squint my eyes, I'm going to take my pencil. Now watch. I'm going to start from top to bottom here. Watch. As I move down, I'm squinting my eyes because it helps me to see, it helps me and you to see the values of light and dark at whatever you're looking at. In this case, it's a photograph. So we're squinting. Now watch. As I move down, this is an edge of where light, there's a division, are you watching still? Of light and dark. So I'm following an edge of where the light areas are separated from the dark areas, or the shadow, from the shadow. You guys watching still? Did you see what I just did? Do you see that division? Okay, that is number 4. That's number 4 that we're going to do, okay? So that's those 4 things. Now, so I've done some explaining. Let's get drawing here. So I'm just gonna talk for a little bit. So where was I yesterday? I'm gonna just demo for like 5 minutes, finish up this side, and then you guys can do it as I'm talking or watch if you don't understand. So here we are. I was at 4 over here in this area. The hair was here, and now I'm gonna start coming down this cheekbone here. And I like to, once again, I'm gonna zoom in here so you guys can see better. And I like to put my finger right here. Now, the grid method is a great method. Or I shouldn't say it's a great method. It is a method. And I'm gonna subdivide this in quarters because this is subdivided over here. And I wanna make sure that I have my things placed correctly, my shapes placed correctly. Being able to take the grid method and use it for a little bit, and then maybe you get rid of it. You can use it as much as you want, and it's great for certain things. And it's also great to, now I'm moving over here in the chin. I'm kind of forgetting what I need to be doing here. I'm not really forgetting. I'm just like, okay, here we go. Now let's move back down. Then at some point we want to get rid of the grid method and just look at the thing without a grid and be able to transfer what we're looking at in a reference photo to our drawing or to our painting. In this case, it's going to be a painting. So, and not use the grid method at all. And the grid method for beginners, like a lot of you are beginners, it's really good, like, once again, for to help your brain identify shapes and look at eyeballs and portraits. In this case, it's a portrait in as shapes and not, oh, it's an eyeball, oh, it's a nose, oh, it's a mouth. But look at them as they are these shapes. Okay, so I just finished my silhouette. So my silhouette is complete. So number 1, check, silhouette. So we go down to transfer the shape of the face and the jaw. So that's our next one, okay? So then, so I started doing that. I'm gonna go up here into quadrant, and that could include the forehead too, okay? The hairline, the hair, all that. So I'm gonna come up to 3 here. Let me zoom in again so it's nice and close because I can see what I'm doing. And I think at this point you guys kind of understand the concept or the idea. And let's just focus on doing that, and we'll just start drawing. And we're measuring, what we're doing too is we are measuring visual distances and we're using the grid to help us with these visual distances and with these shapes. Using my eraser there. Oh, you guys can't see? Oh, I'm out of, thank you. Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, if ever you guys need to see what I'm doing, go ahead and say, hey, Harwood, I can't see what you're doing. And and I'll move it. Yeah. So for the next, like, let's just do this. And you can always go further than I'm going. Like, if you understand this concept or if you've done it before, you can go further with it, because eventually, let's write this next one down. Pick up your pen. Let's write down this next one. Here we go. Let's write number 4 is transfer the edge of light and dark. Shadow, because there's like a main shadow line and dark shadow on the face. And some of you, I don't really have a lot of color differences on mine. Some of you have a lot of color differences. Now also within this, if you take a look in the shadows, right? So look up again, and you can be drawing as I'm talking. If we follow this shadow line or this edge down, right? What I want you guys to also look at, if I follow that down, so this is all shadow over here on this side, over here, right? What's happening in this shadow side? It's not all one value. So we have, do you remember the core shadow? Remember from Art 1, we got, I wonder if I have a drawing of that somewhere. But we have the core, this is where the core shadow is, the darkest part of the shadow is. Now, I want you to look over here. See how this is lighter? It's in the shadows, but over here, this is your reflected light. This right here, pay attention to this. This is your reflected light. We have a little bit of reflected light. So we have this area that's really dark, and then this area that gets slightly lighter. So in your shadows, you have a variety of values, a variety of dark values in all this shadow area. And then if we go to this light area, so this is a division of light and dark over here. So we have this area over here. This is the light side, or the side that is lit. There's a variety of light values. Okay? So these light values, there's a variety of them, and they have different colors. So if you were to look at this value, this is darker than this area, right? What color would you call this right here? What color would you call this right here? So what color would you call this? Don't say skin color, don't say tan. If you had to say, hey, this is a color, what color would you call that? Someone said orange, yes. Someone mentioned orange, yes. And I want to say yes immediately because that's correct. What color would you call this? Yellow, yes. Okay, so it's a neutral yellow. We have a neutral orange. And before we start painting our portrait, right now we're doing just the drawing part. There's going to be some painting exercises where we're going to practice painting skin tones and neutral tones. So I'm not just throwing you into like a whole lot of things, more things than we're already giving you a lot to think about, and to do, but more than you can maybe handle. Okay, so here we are. Let's just draw for a little bit. So you guys go ahead and draw. I'm just going to be drawing too, not really talking. And let's get those things, these 4 things, which you've written down, let's get these all down, done before the end of the period. And we got like a good 30 minutes. Okay. Oh, yes. Is
Do you
there?
have any of the like?
There's a human here.
Do you have any of the like more traditional like inking markers, like
Yeah.
brush tips?
Well, you want a brush tip one?
Yeah, just because I want to try something with the gesture drawings.
That one's a little dry, but you can use that. And then that's a little dry too, but you can use it. Okay, that one's a little bit. Once you start sketching though, you can also use traditional ink in a brush. Just put a little, get an inkwell from there, get a brush, and a little brush, dip it. Yeah, go for it. And just bring those back when you're done.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, Joey will be walking around helping you guys out. If you have any questions, if you don't understand.
Mr. Howard.
Yeah.
Hayden here does not have a portrait to work on.
Who?
Hayden here at front.
Oh, Hayden. Yeah, let's get him one. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, just go next door and.
Print up something.
Do you know how they can sign in, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it's all written on the board. If you don't, let me know.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, dude. And then any specifications for the portrait?
Have them printed out like half the size of the paper. Not some people did really big, just about that size.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's it. Cool.
And just like dynamic lighting if possible.
Okay.
Yeah. You can have extreme color or not. So I'm finding that I'm needing to subdivide each of these 1-inch squares into half-inch squares. And I'm just eyeballing it here, but I'm finding that it's very helpful to use this to subdivide these 1-inch squares into these half-inch squares. And once again, I want to remind you that we are not shading. We are not shading. We are creating a line drawing. If you look at my drawing, I'm not shading. I am doing a lot of subdivision here though. And I'm going to zoom in here. Because when you divide these 1-inch squares in half, making it half-inch squares would have been taking a lot more time to do it, but it is worth it because we're going to be able to get these shapes accurate. And this is a different way of thinking. It's going to be foreign to you, to some of you, and that's okay. And it becomes less foreign and more familiar the more we do it. So I've worked on number 1, the silhouette. That's done. Number 2, face and jaw. I did that. And now I'm on number 3. I'm transferring the shape of the hair. And take your time. We are not in a hurry. We are on a timeline. We're not necessarily in a hurry. Be accurate with your shapes. Okay, so I think I have. See what I did with the hair here? I didn't put a lot of detail in the hair yet. There is a lot of detail in the hair, and just like the face, we have this edge, this division of light and dark. In the hair also, you can see that there's this division of light and dark. Even though the hair is mostly dark in my portrait, for example, there's still this lighter area where the light is hitting it. And you can see if you look up, watch my pencil move. I'm moving across this area very slowly. It goes up here. This is where more of this dark edge is in the hair. So this is my dark area of the hair. Is it frozen for you guys? Oh, it is frozen for you guys. Not on my view. Got this. Oh, maybe I paused it on accident. There we go. Thank you. Let's catch up. Okay, cool. So here we go. Let's do that again. So, right here, so this whole, all the hair is dark, you know. There is a division of light and dark in the hair. So right here, if I start about right here, I'm going to move from right to left. Here's an edge, generally, of where the light and the dark separates. This is called mapping, where you are identifying areas of light and dark. And so that will be number 5, where we identify, and number 4 is the beginning of this. We're transferring the edge of light and dark shadows, okay? Or light and dark shapes on the thing that you are painting, okay? And we want to transfer the edges of where light meets dark and where light meets medium shapes of value, and where medium meets, it's like lagging here. There we go. Where medium meets, do I go to the very end? Maybe I need to go to the very end. I don't know how this thing works, dude. I'm learning. But we want to identify edges also where medium shapes, the edge of medium shapes shape meets the edge of a light shape. And the edge of a light shape meets the edge of a medium shape, vice versa, okay? Or where the edge of a dark shape meets the edge of a light shape, or where the edge of a dark shape meets the edge of a medium shape, okay? So we're gonna have all these different combinations. Like if we look up here, there's this little area on the nose here where this is a light shape. So if I'm circling this light shape on the nose, so I would map that on my drawing right here. And then this is a medium shape right here next to it. This is a medium shape value color. It also has a color, but this is a medium shape like this. And next to this light shape, I'm circling the light shape right now. Okay, I'm not drawing on my reference. I'm just circling it so you guys can see it. Next to it over here, we have another medium shape. This is a slightly darker, right? So that's a medium value. And this is a light value. So we're going to start separating all the different value shapes from our reference to our drawing. And this is called mapping. Okay, so let's write this down. Mapping, really big. This is an art term. Okay, mapping. And let me zoom in here. Identifying areas, shapes, aka shapes of light, medium, and dark. Okay, that's what mapping is. And then we're identifying them in our reference. And then we're transferring them over to our drawing. Okay, so I'm in number 4 now, where transfer the edge of light and dark shadow on the face. So I'm going to start doing that. Making sure I'm in the right spot. And don't feel like you need to be caught up with me because some of you are beginners and this is your first time doing this. This is doing this, so I have a little bit more experience than you guys. Just take your time. So I'm going to subdivide this area even smaller. And let me zoom in more so you guys can see this better. There we go. I'm going to move this over even closer. Check it out. So I'm going to move this over even closer. There we go. And I'm going to line this up. And once again, I put my finger in the area or the square in which I'm drawing. little cast shadow. The nose is making a cast shadow. This light is coming from above. It's coming from the upper right corner. And I'm going to divide that because the mouth is very important. I'm going to subdivide this again. And even that chin area, I'm going to subdivide that chin area a third time. Using very light pressure. Moving down to the neck area here. I don't know where you guys are at, but subdivide this. And we're going to subdivide this.